Alright, so let's see. Daylight stuck in leaked. Issues. And technically there's more issues. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Butter the Great. And in this video, let's go over some issues with the TRX. Or more accurately, let's go over 5 mistakes that Ram made. Now, after driving my TRX about 3,000 miles now, I got a pretty good feel for all the things that Ram got wrong from the factory with the TRX. So in this video, we're going over 5 issues with the TRX on the outside, and in the next video, I'm going over 5 issues with the TRX on the inside. So enough of this fluff. Let's get into this stuff. So the issues in this video, these are some things that from the factory should be better. Now, some of these things Ram can fix, some of these things people in the aftermarket can fix. None of these issues are in order of importance. So number 1 on the list, the TRX is so fast, it'll knock your badge off. Now, this right here is an issue that has plagued some owners. Now, it might play more than you think. It just depends on whether or not you actually been checking your badges. But the TRX is powered by 6.2 liters. Oh, hold on. There you go right there. It's powered by a 6.2 liter supercharged engine. But what you don't know is that this truck is so fast that the badges, they start to peel off. As you can see right there. $90,000 doesn't buy you good adhesive to keep your badges on your hood. Now, typically the one on the driver's side is the one that typically peels off. The passenger side one, that one's on there pretty good, mainly because there's less surface area for that wind to get beneath that badge and peel it off. But as you see on this side right here, it's not the same story with that one. You might say, oh, well, I mean, that's simple. It's an easy fix. It might cost, what, $20, $30 for that badge right there? What if I told you, you can't even order that badge from Ram? Huh? Really? No, you cannot order just that badge. You gotta order this whole thing just to get that badge. So that means if that badge goes flying off and you can't recover it, oh, you got you a big $90 bill and an extra daggone heat extractor. And I should go ahead and say that this hood extractor for the heat, oh, it's fake. So I guess Ram figures if you're gonna spend $9,000 on this truck, you might as well spend $90 for an extra heat extractor. So if you guys find yourself with your TRX badge peeling, best get some kind of like adhesive glue, whatever, and stick it back there, because apparently you gotta do your own repairs yourself, even though mine is only like 3 months old. Just saying. Now, number 2 on the list, a flare for the dramatic. Now, this one right here holds a special place in my heart, because this right here is the issue I have with my TRX, because before I actually got it and before I even set my hands on it for the first time, mine was already messed up. I don't know if you can easily see that, but there are these big old scratches and stuff that is in my flares I cannot get out. Now, there are some like white marks in there, but right there. And the crazy part is, it is only on the passenger side. My front one is like that, my back one is like that. And after driving 3,000 miles, my driver's side has no issues with it. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that the material that they use to make these flares, they are trash. Like, there's no easy way to say it. That material is so weak and so soft that if you rub a t-shirt on it, it'll leave marks on it and you can't even damn get it out. I mean, hell, essentially, if you put your finger on it hard enough, you'll scuff it. If you want to make sure your flares stay protected, get these suckers ceramic coated like as soon as possible. Well, even before you get them ceramic coated, make sure you walk around your truck when you take delivery of it to make sure that your flares and your other stuff on your vehicle is perfect. Because if it's not, some of these dealers are gonna try to screw you out of making sure your vehicle is perfect and try to give you all these other excuses about, oh, transport damage this and 24 hours that, blah, blah, blah. Just save yourself the favor. Well, not save yourself, but just do yourself a favor. Get it looked at, get it checked out, as soon as possible, get these flares ceramic coated. Might as well go ahead and do the little grill surround too, because I'm pretty sure it's made out of the same weak material. Just saying. But number 3 on the list, to break or not to break, that is the question. Now, if you guys remember the whole little press release, whatever press release, but the little live stream they had when they released the TRX, you remember that the guy on the stage was going like, oh my God, these are like the biggest brakes in the segment, blah, blah, blah. Thanks to somebody else, I didn't do this, somebody else did it, so you can blame them. They actually brought up a very good point with this graphic. Now, if you look at the graphic between the TRX and the regular Ram 1500, you'll see that millimeters wise, they are the exact same rotors from a regular 1500. The only way the TRX brakes are bigger is because they converted from millimeters to inches. That's how they can claim that these rotors are the biggest ones in the segment. Now, if you're gonna drive a regular grocery getter style, you're totally fine. But once you get into your truck and start driving up performance-wise, since it has 7 horsepower engine in it, these brakes are horrible. There's like no easy, soft way of saying it. These things will go bad in like 5, maybe 6 minutes if you're driving hard. Off-roading, you probably don't really care about it because, heck, if you're off-roading, you got enough space to stop. So on pavement, if you go slam in the back of somebody because your vehicle don't stop, brakes are kind of important. Now, I will say with these brakes right here, there's not really much that we can do about them, right? Because no one apparently makes a 1500 big brake kit yet. And then the factory wheels are 18, so we don't have that much space. Oh, come on, plane. So until someone makes like a big brake kit for the TRX, the best bet we have like right now is to either swap out the pads, swap out the tires, or swap out your brake fluid. But as it stands right now, you're gonna shut off about 5-6 minutes. Oh, these brakes, this thing don't want to stop. You're gonna have to use your trash paddles. Well, I'll talk about that in another video, but the paddle shifters in this thing is trash too. You had the engine brake in order to help you slow down. Issue number 4, great shock. They did this wiring, well, not rewiring, but they did the routing for the hose for the reservoir kind of bad. And I'll show you why, because there goes the Bilstein brake, and you can see the line for it is going in front of the control arm to the reservoir that's right there above the skid plate. So, you know, that's all fine and dandy, but what you see right here is you see a hard line, right? And that hard line comes before the daggone lower control arm. So that means if you hit some brush, it's gonna attack this part of your daggone line right here. And then also, I assume this right here is the electronics for the shock. That's actually sitting in front of it. So, if you want to talk about putting your shock into danger, let's talk about the situation where a lot of people are starting to get bumpers for other companies. Now, if you get a bumper that's going to take out all that protection right there, oh, you better figure out what you're going to do about protecting that shock, because you remove this stock skid plate and go one for no little narrow bumpers, because I mean, you can see right here, there is like really no way for that shock to get hurt with this factory skid plate. But once you start adding these pre-runner or whatever you call it bumpers, oh, you about to be SOL if you hit something in the trail on that control arm. Now, I wish they would have put like some kind of plate right there in order to stop something from hitting that shock, especially that shock line. But I guess, you know, with this bumper right here in the skid plate, they figured that was fine, because like I said, everything's open for danger, right? But then you look over here, you'll see for this harness that's way up higher, they got metal protection for it. So they want to protect this harness from getting hurt, but don't do the same thing for your shock. And last but not least, but it is for this video, it's gonna be the last one, we have fat truck little tank. Now the TRX from the factory has a 33-gallon fuel tank, but as a lot of us know, that fuel tank is not big enough for this vehicle. I mean, you're having to stop every couple of days because you're only getting what, 220, 230 out of the fuel tank. I mean, technically, if they would have just put like another little, I guess, little heat shield right here, a little barrier, They could have added another at least couple of gallons onto this fuel tank, because there is room in here for a bigger fuel tank. Another thing you'll notice is all that space between the fuel tank and the skid plate. So you got all this room for a bigger fuel tank. Look at all that space. All that space right there under that skid plate. It literally goes all the way back there to the back of the truck, all that space. So I went searching online. I found like a couple of companies that do like replacement larger fuel tanks. And I saw this one for the Raptor. I'm going like, why in the heck does a Raptor, it already gets pretty good gas mileage, needs a 45-gallon fuel tank, right? Now for us, we had a 45-gallon fuel tank in the TRX. Yeah, that's another like 12 gallons. Shoot, we're getting like 10 miles per gallon. That's an extra 120 miles out of a tank. So we're getting, what, 370, 380, depending on how you drive. So I went ahead and put in like a little request for them to see whether or not they can make us a tank for the TRX. And it seemed like, you know, looking at a picture for the Raptor tank, not gonna be made out of metal and pretty good quality. So hopefully they'll respond back to me and see whether or not we can get us a bigger tank, because I'm getting tired of filling up after, like, well, how I drive, I only get about 230 miles out of my tank. Now, I don't know how much miles you guys get out of your tank, but I need some better mileage. So that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Make sure you be on the lookout for part number 2 by going on the inside to tell you about the 5 things wrong inside the TRX. And if there's anything that you notice with your TRX that might be a little bit off that I didn't say in this video, let me know down in the comments down below, and I might include it on the next video. So until the next time, I'm out.